And we're live. What's up, guys?
Nothing. I just been waiting here to go live.
You're such a
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Yep. Hope those 4 people waiting on us didn't quit on the 2-minute delay there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For not.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Right. We're back here for a second time this week. Crazy.
Yeah.
Be busy.
Yeah, and I would just like to say that Matt sounds thrilled.
Go Cavs. So we do want to continue these from time to time, and also we like to get on here and shoot the shit and just talk about movies more often and maybe do some video game streams. We're trying to branch out and get doing live stuff more often.
Yep.
So thanks for tuning in and hope you enjoy this. For those who haven't listened to us or watched us before, welcome to the Movie Podium, a weekly podcast where we collectively choose a movie to watch, and at the end of the week, we get together and talk about it. It's kind of like a book club.
But for movies.
But for movies.
We also came up with a set of questions to ask ourselves, such as, is this a Podium movie or a top 3 in the year of its respective release? I'm your host, Matt Scott.
Hello,
and
Matt.
Hi, and we've got our skeleton crew in. So I've been thinking about how to introduce everybody, and I don't think it's fair that Kevin and John have sound bits. So I also gave Eric and Kevin some. So hope you guys like this. Here's Kevin's.
Wait.
Or here's Eric's.
Yes.
What's up, Eric?
Nothing. I'm just hanging. Thank you for that music.
Figured you'd enjoy that. And Daniel,
Yes.
here's yours.
Hello.
Yep.
What's funny is I almost shit this off today, which would have made me look like Triple
Oh.
H.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect. Hey, Sawyer, how's it going?
Yo.
So he is
Batman
from...
Returns.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Let's get on that Batman Returns train.
Are we
I'm a
starting it
Batman
already?
purist. He commits murder. I'm not into it.
That is fair. Later.
the
Thanks for
Batman.
tuning in. Yeah. I like the Batman beef we got going, though.
Batman beef.
All right, well, let's cheers while we...
Okay. Yeah,
so
good
I
call.
can start talking
Cheers.
without my mouth being too dry.
We don't have John to go, oh. So I will do it.
That's perfect. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes.
I do what I can.
Yeah, if anybody wants to go on the moviepodium.net, we've got koozies and shirts and hats and all kinds of fun stuff. We'd love to see pictures of people in them, and
Yeah.
hope you enjoy that. All right, well, we're back
What are we
onto our
doing, Matt?
timeline. Yeah, we're back on our timeline, and the year's 2010. Thanks to the polls, we are now picking our next movie, which is Inception. Since we're doing this live, I didn't really queue up a trailer or
Yeah.
anything. So
Best not to tempt the technology wizard gods too
Yeah.
much.
Can't say I was super prepared. And yeah, let's see you, Sawyer. I hope you enjoy this. And I think this will be fun with just the skeleton crew tonight. I think we'll probably be a shorter episode, and
Yeah, probably.
yeah, it should be good.
So
Unless I get to pontificating. You know where I get. I
It's
love to
dangerous.
pontificate.
we know how Daniel is.
It's dangerous.
Hey Daniel, can you center yourself up in the frame? Thank you. What was I gonna say? Shit. What other movie we did the
Yeah, we
poll.
had
there we go.
So yeah, the poll. So we had 2010. Some of the biggest movies that I think that we had thought of were Easy A,
which
we
I have not
had-
seen.
Yeah, it's a great movie. We had Inception, The Social Network, and also a great one is Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
I really thought we'd be watching The Social Network.
I did too,
That was
honestly.
second, right? It
Mhm.
was like
It was
very
very
close.
close.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just, to me, like, I think that's a more, like, in my brain, I just thought that was a more popular movie than Inception, but
Yeah,
uh,
it had more
Inception
Oscar buzz.
apparently has stuck around. You
Yeah,
know, it's
which
another Nolan movie.
I
And
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I hear he keeps coming back in our podcast, and there's definitely some influence. I think he's probably my favorite director. I think we will keep doing some of his movies. So this was a yes, as we mentioned, Social Network was another big movie this year, and really this was a stacked 2010 year from an Oscar perspective. We had Aronofsky's Black Swan also came out this year. We
Oh
had a
yeah.
great Coen brother remake of True Grit. We had The Fighter, which had Christian Bale and Mark Wahlberg. We had Toy Story 3, and the winner that year was sadly probably a less rewatchable movie in The King's Speech. Did you guys see that one or remember that
no, but I
one?
heard that it was like,
It's
okay.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's a one hitter quitter. Like you're not gonna watch it again, and hopefully we don't have to watch it on here. It's pretty dry. It's not again, not bad, but just
Right.
not like a movie we want to talk about.
Right. Like when we get to 2023, we're not going to want to watch Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
Because,
Probably
like, as
not.
great as I think Oppenheimer was, and I do think it's great, I think it deserved Best Picture. It's just like the sort of movie that I'm like, that was really good. I don't want
Yep.
to do that again.
Yeah. No, I agree. Absolutely. And weirdly, Inception was the opposite for me when it came out. I think I saw it in theaters like 4 or 5 times, and part of
Really?
that's because
Okay.
there's just so much going on. I mean, I watched it. Obviously, we watched it for this, but for me at least, I understood everything without having to think too hard. But I think it was because I'd watched it a million times before that I kind of
Mhm.
knew everything that was going on, right?
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've watched this. So rewatching it, it was crazy, I guess.
It is intense, though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's so intense. I was telling Daniel, like at some peaks, there's like super tense moments, and I could feel myself, like I could feel my chest getting tighter and
Yeah.
like and everything. And after it was done, I had to like just take a couple deep breaths because I was like, oh my God, I was so in that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was biting my nails. I was freaking out. But
Yes.
yeah, it was very intense. So Christopher Nolan had this big run. I mean, he had Batman Begins, The Prestige, and The Dark Knight all in a row, and then makes this mind-blowing culture phenomenon. Not a bad heater moment, right? I mean, he was on fire,
I guess he's okay at this.
right?
Yeah.
Not
He
bad.
should probably keep doing it.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he keeps tricking us or building these worlds. I mean, he's probably the
Mhm.
best at these architectural moments, and I think Inception's kind of a metaphor for some of the things in the movie business and how there's the director is the architect maybe, and you have the chemist in there that does all the
Mhm.
sound and songs and mixes things together. I mean, you could say a lot of those things for how they make a movie, but Nolan does such a good job of building those big worlds.
Yeah.
Um, all right, well, no song again, but you guys ready for some random ass facts?
Let's do it.
Down, 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 down. I guess I could do.
Yeah, no, I like that.
I was gonna say, I guess it could be random ass facts. Um, so this has a 8.8 on IMDb, which is 14th of all
Is
time.
that higher than Thor?
Very much so.
Way.
Way. Is that higher than John?
Not quite.
Not quite. This won 4 Oscars, including cinematography, sound mixing, sound editing, and visual effects, and was also up for Best Picture and Original Screenplay, but did not win, as I kind of touched on earlier. Daniel?
I just have a question.
Mm.
Is this the trailer that started the wow
Yes.
revolution?
Yeah.
100%.
It was the
I saw it,
shot.
though.
Syncope? Is it named Syncope or?
I don't know,
whatever
but
his name,
Not
Nolan's company is.
yeah,
it started to be in every fucking trailer after this.
yeah.
I know.
It was the shot
Yeah.
of the city like rising up. I remember
Yes.
that.
That's a
God.
Hans Zimmer take for you.
Okay, I I take everything back. This is my least favorite movie because of that fact.
Yeah, blame Hans Zimmer, who Daniel and I will talk about in another video of ours that I hope everybody checks out. It's a Superman video, and Daniel and I talk about the difference between Superman, Man of Steel, and Superman the original. And Hans Zimmer did the music for Man of Steel, which we kind of touch on. But as you mentioned, it's that dark, deep tone as
Yeah,
we got in this movie.
they're
And he's
just
great
tones.
too. Yeah, tones, right. It's like me talking.
Julie said it's the wah evolution.
It's awesome. So true. So, all right, I think this is an important topic to start with on the random ass facts. In an interview with Christopher Nolan later on after this movie came out, he addressed the ending of the movie where the top's spinning but not
Hmm.
toppling, or we don't see it fall over.
Yeah.
And he said himself that he believes that Cobb does make it home to his children, but he leaves it up to the viewer's interpretation. However, what I really liked is what he said next. And he said he thinks that not only did Cobb get back to his kids, but that Cobb is no longer obsessing over his dreams and what state of mind he's in, and that he is at peace with where he is at. So even if he was in that dream state,
Hmm.
he is at peace. But
Yeah.
really, so I mean, it really doesn't play into it. I'm on the team where he is home, and that shot is again what Nolan kind of alluded to or talks about, and I love that thought process that he doesn't care. He's not worried about it anymore. He
Hmm.
wants to see his kids. He's ready to move on, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was cool that Nolan himself talked about that
Yeah.
because everybody wonders, oh, what happens at the end?
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things that we'll get into here in a sec, but
Nice.
it's all mine messing with me.
Yeah. Oh, Nolan does it better than most.
Yeah.
So remember when Cobb gives Ariadne that puzzle test, or Ariadne that puzzle test? Well, Ariadne's final solution is named King Minos Labyrinth.
The circle?
Ariadne, yeah, the
Okay.
circle,
Yeah.
right. So Ariadne is the name of King Minos' daughter in mythology. Thought that was cool.
Okay.
So there was some
Some connection
literal
there.
connections there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was some more lore there that I didn't really want to touch on too much, but if you want to look it up, there is a lot more about the mythology with Ariadne and kind of some similar aspects to this movie, and maybe some of Nolan's inspiration from this movie or from that story.
Okay. Yeah.
This movie jumps between dream layers in the story timeline a total of 223 times.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's a lot of different
223.
scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And another thing with time, or how many times. So the movie is 2 hours and 28 minutes. That is how long a dream was supposed to last from the beginning to the end of this movie. So, like, when you do the math, you know how we went from first dream to second dream to third dream and however long that took.
Yeah. And it
That 2
multiplies.
hours and 28 minutes is supposed to be the amount of time it was supposed to take from the dream state or something. Thought that was wild. I mean, he again, which is funny, is we had a similar topic with Back to the Future, how directors are using
Yeah.
time literally
Yeah.
sometimes. Can you guess how many people actually died in this film? This is the last one I had.
I'm going to say 33.
Daniel, how many people
What was this?
actually
People who
died?
died? I'm
Actually
sorry.
died.
0?
Oh wait, actually died. Yeah, 0.
Actually died. 2.
Two.
Maurice Fisher, the old guy, the rich old guy,
Oh
because
yeah,
he was flying to
yeah.
his funeral, and Mal
Okay,
or
yeah. Well,
Mal.
yeah. We don't see Maul die though.
Oh, she jumps
Well,
off the
no, yeah,
ledge.
yeah, we do. Sorry.
Yeah, those are the 2 deaths. Yeah, she jumps off the ledge. That actually does happen. Once they
Yeah,
woke up, he actually does see her
yeah,
die. 2 deaths, and how many? I didn't actually see how many got shot in those
yeah.
snow scenes,
It's a
but
lot of
good
them.
lord, there's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's all just part of the subconscious.
exactly. All right, you guys ready for some questions?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I had a random ass fact real
Yeah, let's
quick.
hear it. Perfect.
The scene in the hallway with where the gravity's shifting around,
Yeah.
it took, I believe it was 500 crew members, and I think it was 3 weeks or something like that, constantly working to get that scene filmed. And
That's
they had to
crazy.
build the hallway on like a 360-degree rotating
Huh.
platform of some sort. And then
That's
everyone was
crazy.
strapped to like tension rods, and like they were suspended in
Huh.
the air within it.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
All
Yeah.
because
That's wild.
Nolan didn't want to use CGI on it.
Yeah.
Hmm, I
So
like that.
instead, he built a giant hallway on a basically drill bit.
Yeah.
Insane. Man, that's wild.
Yeah.
Well, I also saw that Ariadne's bun she had was because they didn't want to mess with her hair on the anti-gravity scenes because
Oh
they
yeah.
wouldn't know what to do with it, so they just put in a bun.
A very practical solution there.
Right, exactly. Hey, we got 9 concurrent viewers right now.
Ooh.
What's up, people?
Hello everyone. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, how's it going? All
What
right,
are we doing now, Matt? We getting
let's get
into
into
it?
this. Yeah, let's get into some
Let's do
questions.
it.
All right. Oh, starting that early.
Wait, what question is this?
I'm gonna pre. All right, favorite thing about the movie.
Power.
All right, Eric, you kind of teased it. What was your favorite thing
Yeah.
about the movie?
So initially it was going to be the architect role because I thought that was really cool. But then after I watched it, me and Julie watched it, and we were talking about it, and Julie, like, I was like watching it at face value. Like, okay, so he goes into a dream and then another dream, and then at the end he comes out of that dream and he's back in reality. Like
Yeah.
he's in reality to start with at the base.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, well, what if he's already been in limbo and
This was.
Maul was actually right? Like, this is not real, and he's
Mm,
just obsessing over it and obsessing over it, trying to make himself happy and just diving deeper into insanity.
yeah, sure.
So like that just blew my mind because I've never ever thought about it like that.
Yeah, yeah. That is a cool topic. I mean, or twist.
Yeah.
And they almost hint at it or they tease it a little bit because there's that scene when he's talking to Maul and she's like, well, do you think it's convenient that some random corporation is getting you to fly around the country and you're doing all this crazy stuff that no one else would do and it seems
Yeah.
like a dream, like all these twists and turns. So
Yeah.
she even teases it. So that is a really cool thing that Nolan can do with that.
Yeah.
I do like that about this movie. Yeah, when if it was all a dream, like when did it start? Or was it at the
Yeah.
start of the
Or did we
movie?
just
Right.
yeah, did we just jump in on him in limbo trying to,
Sure.
I don't know, find some sort of happiness?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's a cool topic.
Yeah. So that was my favorite thing.
Nice. Daniel?
I think my favorite thing was just the premise is really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like entering dreams and getting information from people or implanting ideas in people. Like that stuff is really interesting.
Yeah. I agree. I pretty much said something similar and I just like the concept of time and like what can be accomplished in a dream. Like, I
Mhm.
like how each dream time makes it feel longer, or each dream is longer. Like the math behind that is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I also like the idea of using a dream to plan an idea, kind of like you're talking about, Daniel. Like, I'm not a big "what does this dream mean" kind of person,
Mhm.
but it is cool that we all do that to some extent, and Nolan was able to kind of build a world around something that is unknowable and something that is unknown. Like, we don't really know what some of that means. It's kind of like going to the deepest parts of the ocean. Like, there's still
Yeah.
so much about dreams that we don't know, and
Mhm.
we can't even reach or get to. So I like how he was able to manipulate a story around that, and use it like kind of what Daniel said, and to have it to be around implanting ideas and something, because everybody knows, like, sometimes you'll have a weird dream and it'll stick with you for a couple days. If
Mhm.
you're really stressed out, it'll show up in a dream in some fashion.
Yeah.
So I was kind of on the same boat as you, Daniel.
The time thing is also really cool. Like each layer deeper you go, it
Yeah.
multiplies it by however much. It reminds me, I mean, I guess maybe Interstellar would remind me of this
Oh, I
movie,
love how he
but
does
like
time in
yeah,
Interstellar.
like on you go to the planet and it's however long compared to a single Earth day.
Yep. And that makes all the sense in the world, right? I mean, that's physics, really, right? So the gravitational. So, like, yeah, I
Yeah.
like how he uses time in a lot of ways, and obviously in this movie. All
Yeah.
right, least favorite thing about the movie. All right, Daniel.
Uh, my least favorite thing about the movie is I don't think he pulled off the dream stuff as well as he could have.
Hmm.
Like, I think
Yeah.
it's a little too convoluted.
Okay.
Like, I like the idea of like going into somebody's dream and,
Yeah.
like the rules and stuff. I just feel like in the actual execution of the actual mission, it just didn't
Yeah.
land for me this time.
So are you when you say he, are you talking about the character Cobb or
No,
Nolan?
Nolan.
No,
Okay.
Nolan.
Nolan.
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking about the end and how it is kind of convoluted. Like, oh, all of a sudden he's gonna go back to limbo and save the guy, and
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're like, I thought you can't get out of limbo.
right. It
Yeah. It
it's
is pretty
I'm with you.
convoluted. It's like if you miss one thing, you might be messed up for the whole movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And
100%.
like I don't think it's as confusing as people make it seem. Like lots
Yeah.
of people were like, I didn't get it. And it's
Right.
like, it's not that difficult, but if
No.
you pay attention, it's not that difficult. But
Yeah.
just and it might be because I've seen it so many times that
That's
like the
what I said
flaws are
earlier,
starting
right?
to,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
cracks in it. And I don't think it's a bad movie by any means, but it's just one of those things where like this time watching it, I was just like, yeah, it just didn't work as well for me.
Hmm.
Yeah. I totally agree on the landing, and this is funny. We were talking about it the other night with M Night. I kind of agree, actually. So I'll piggyback off that. My least favorite thing was just how I think that the climax drags on. I think it's a little too long,
Yeah.
and I kind of agree with the convoluted part. But like, that snow scene is so long, and there's just nothing really to build. I mean, it's super tense, but it's
Yeah.
not really much for storytelling.
Yeah. Like you could have
So,
shaved like 5-10 minutes off
oh
that
yeah,
scene
so
easily.
exactly, and again, I don't hate long movies by any means.
Hmm.
I do, I as long as there's a purpose for it. I
Yeah.
just thought it dragged on a little bit for me. So again, I liked it, but yeah, I thought it was a little long. Eric, what about you?
I had a couple. First of all, lots of people sleeping. Lots of people sleeping in this movie.
Yeah.
Just that's boring. Second of all, dying in a dream state and then getting stuck in limbo seems like a pretty big detail to just not even kind of like mention to anyone
Yeah, that's fair.
and just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna trust him, but like He doesn't mention it to anybody.
Right.
That's not brought up at all. So,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, that would be a
nitpick,
pretty.
but yeah.
No, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I feel like there was just like, how can we build suspense and make you
Yeah.
freak out for some reason? But really, yeah, if you were actually Cobb in that situation, you probably would have explained that before anybody had entered a dream like that.
Yeah, and like even the chemist like would mention offhand, like, be careful, you
Yeah,
die, you're
right,
dead.
right, exactly. Yeah, so no, I that all makes sense. I actually read somewhere that in the Japanese version that each time that they are in a different dream, and apparently 223 times, it'll tell the Japanese version will say what stage of the dream they're in, or which,
Like which
first
level?
dream, second dream,
Okay.
right,
Yeah,
which level. Like,
that's
I don't
cool.
think it's
That
that confusing. I mean, because
yeah.
like you, and maybe Daniel touched on it, and I also me, but like maybe it's because we've seen it a lot. But like I think the different levels are very distinct. Like you have the snow,
Mhm.
you have
Yeah.
the hotel area, and you have
The
the
rain.
rain. Right. I don't
Yeah.
think it's that difficult to follow, but
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
so either. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, we saw it a million times. I definitely saw this 3-4 times in the theaters. All right, next category we've got who won the movie. All right, Eric.
I said Saito because he hired the team and
Nice.
they achieved it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, he.
achieved Inception.
Boom. Boom.
Maybe I need to have that on our board.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, I'm gonna regret that.
Yes, yes, you might. Daniel, who won the movie for you?
I agree with Eric.
Hmm,
That was my
nice.
pick.
Wow.
What
Well,
about you, Matt?
I said that there could have been a few people here. I think Cillian Murphy's character came to terms with his relationship with his father and the company that his father owned, and that he was going to be his own person. So I could have saw that answer. I also thought I could have seen. I also said Saito because of what you just talked about. He accomplished the goal and the whole purpose of the movie.
Yeah.
But I ended up going with Cobb because I think that, again, from my perspective, I thought that he made it home. And
Hmm.
so therefore he went back to, I assume his dad was Michael Caine. I mean, they never say that explicitly, but I assume that's who it is. But he gets to come home to his parents and his kids, and it finally moves on from what was dwelling in the past. So I said
Yeah.
Cobb ultimately.
I don't know if I would agree with Fisher, Murphy's character, because only because it's false. Like they made all of that up. So
Fair.
I mean, he might have
That's fair.
reconciled, but like
Yeah.
it's not real.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
true.
true. That's
He
true.
was planning on running that company,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
then
And right,
they
and
were like, you don't want to run that company.
Don't do it.
Get up.
that's true. It's not necessarily his idea. Maybe he didn't want to be something for himself and just ride the coattails of his father. That's true.
Or
That's a
maybe
really
he
good
thought he
point.
could do it even better than his dad and wanted
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
take the company to
true.
even higher heights.
Yeah, that's true too. Hard to say, but I like that rebuttal. All right. So yeah, well, I had Cobb anyway, but
Yeah.
but no, that's a good point. I like it. All right, next category we've got favorite song moment or score scene. I just want to hear Daniel sing it.
Wow.
Dear God, give us some
Is that
warning.
it? Is your favorite?
Sorry for everyone listening how loud that was.
If you want to hear more of those, please tell us.
Please like and
Daniel.
subscribe.
Yeah, Daniel.
I don't really have one. There's not a whole lot of music in this
Yeah.
movie.
It's all just tones.
Yeah, I actually had one because it's the only song in the movie,
Yeah.
and it's the I'm gonna try to pronounce this. Good lord, non je ne regrette rien.
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I it's not in German. By Edith Piaf, and of course, it's the song that they play when they need to wake up a character.
Yeah.
And it is catchy as hell. Like that song is catchy, and it's a kind of a cute song. Um, since I had no idea what she's saying in there, I actually looked up the meaning of the song, and it's pretty cool. So it's about leaving the past behind, which of course could symbolize Cobb, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be symbolizing his need to let go of the idea of his wife, who obviously is holding him back in this movie. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
how many times did she almost screw up the entire procedure?
That's what he gets for fucking with her mind.
Well, yeah, and I really like how that plays out. I kind of forgot how what we find out. I
Yeah.
kind of and maybe that we're older or something. I understood it more, or like it resonated. That part resonated more so.
Mm-hmm.
How messed up that was, and
Yeah.
for him to do that. Like before, it was like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But I think as I get older, it's like, damn, that
That is a pretty
sucks.
big deal.
And it's almost ironic that they're wanting him for murder when he didn't kill her, but
Yeah.
he planted an idea that messed with her enough to do that. So that's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
But the song is pretty. Um, yeah, it's catchy. It gets stuck in your head.
Yeah.
All right, next category.
Hey,
Does
I
Pretty
this?
on
didn't
the
go.
nose,
I
Nolan.
didn't go.
Oh, I
didn't.
thought you
I
said
didn't.
that you didn't have one.
No, Daniel said he didn't have one.
Oh, okay. What was yours, Eric?
I also say, but but no, there's no music. The one thing that I wrote down was like a jump scare when the architect is in goes down to the basement
Yeah,
and Maul like starkly looks at starkly looks that direction, and there's like a hit, like
yeah.
an intense hit, and
Nice.
that it got me. I was like, oh,
Yeah, and she does give you that creepy look. Yeah, like, oh shit, you're in her world now.
yeah. Well, that's it.
Nice. All right, next category we've got. Does this movie get made now?
Inception 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Oh yeah. What's the consensus? We
I
all
say
say
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Nolan can do
Me.
whatever the fuck he wants now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
he's been doing whatever the fuck he wants for a while now.
Yeah.
right.
But like, you get that best director Oscar, or that
Mhm.
best director Oscar,
There you
Yep.
go.
you get to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and I'll also say that this concept is timeless, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, as we're getting closer to 2024 present day, this is 2010 on our timeline. This movie feels like it was made 2 years ago. And Nolan's always
Yeah.
been on the cusp of technology, so that kind of helps. But
Mm-hmm.
this really does feel like we just watched this in 2020 or something,
Yeah. It doesn't feel like
crazy.
it's 14 years old.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Nolan's very good at getting a picture on the screen that is like an immortal, stuff that could last forever.
Yeah, I agree.
'Cause, I mean, The
agree.
Prestige doesn't look like a 2006 movie or whatever.
Yeah.
it
No,
came
not
out.
at all. Yeah, 2006. Yep. I agree. I think the only reason you can tell it's from 2010 is because of the actors. Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it.
Yeah.
Ken Watanabe's in it. I mean, those guys,
Yeah. They were
Ellen
very of that
Elliott
time.
Page.
Yeah.
Right. All of them are really hot right now. Like,
Yeah.
all those big movies they're in. Tom Hardy's in this.
Yeah.
Now, maybe Cillian Murphy is crazy enough the biggest name right now of those
Mhm.
guys,
Well,
and he's
there's
only a minor character.
There's one other thing that really ties it to its time.
What's that?
Oh God!
Wow.
I thought you were gonna say Michael Caine.
Michael,
Cocaine.
who has like a
No one
tiny,
likes that
tiny
guy.
part.
Very, yeah. What?
I said Nolan likes that guy.
Yeah.
Well, no one likes Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, but I mean Well, I guess Cillian Murphy was in 2 of the Batman films.
Yeah,
Was
Batman.
in this
exactly. Yeah,
and then starred in Oppenheimer.
Yep.
yeah, and I'm sure he's in some of the other ones. I'm just not, thinking about it right away. But yeah, he has his guys for
Yeah.
sure. All right, next category we've got favorite line from the movie. So usually I feel like we pick funny ones, but there's not a lot of humor in this one.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Julie, you're not the only one.
Yeah. I'm so sorry for everyone watching. Daniel doesn't know his power.
But Hans Zimmer does.
Yes.
So yeah, there's no humor in this movie.
Yeah,
I don't even
no.
know there's a funny line. So other than maybe when he kisses Elliot Page and he's like, "Well, it was worth a
a try.
shot."
Yeah.
That was funny, I guess.
I mean, yeah, and then
Kinda.
they kind of bicker back and forth a little bit. There's a little bit of humor there,
Yeah.
but
What'd you?
it's
Yeah,
not.
what'd you guys have?
I had Cobb saying about Ariande, I think is how you pronounce it. She'll be back. Reality's not enough for her anymore.
Nice.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is a good one, Daniel.
Mine's the Cobb line of what is the most resilient parasite? Bacteria, a virus, an intestinal worm, an idea.
Yeah. That was one of mine because like it's just that like an idea can spread so fast. I mean, politics or religion, some of these biggest ideas. I'll digress, but they do spread.
Yeah.
So I had a few, and that was one of them, Daniel. Another one I had was once an idea is taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate. This one definitely resonates with me because if you guys know me, if an idea gets stuck in my head, it's damn near impossible to get it out there.
Yeah,
Out of
it's
Yeah,
there.
you hyperfixate on it.
Yeah.
You're like,
am
I must get
Yeah.
whatever this idea is, either do it or learn about it, or
I'm obsessed
whatever
with
the
that.
idea is, it needs to be dealt with.
Well, I mean,
100%.
yeah, like it got onto the RAM, and then from the RAM, it got onto the actual hard drive there. So it needs to be executed.
100%. Yeah, for sure. And then I also like the line from Ken Watanabe that said, "Do you want to take a leap of faith or become an old man filled with regret waiting to die?" Obviously, that's when Saito sees DiCaprio in the limbo state. I just obviously like this line for many reasons. I mean, I think it's a good way to live your own life, obviously, to take those leap of faiths. And you have no idea what it's going to be on the other side, but you can't just live in regret your entire life. So I like it from that aspect. But I also think it's, for Cobb thinking he needs to confront his own life of hiding from reality. So I thought that was a cool line.
No regrets.
Exactly. Any other ones?
No, I just had that one. Daniel, don't.
Yeah, shit.
Fucking move on, dude.
Yep, let's go.
He's gonna do it again.
No, most rewatchable scene. Did you guys put one on here?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Let's do it. So, Daniel. All right, let's do it.
The hallway scene.
Damn it!
Yeah,
like that scene is just really cool. And
It's
then
so
once
cool.
you learn that, like, if you ever learn from the outside that it's like practical effects, that makes it even cooler.
Yeah,
because you're just like, oh man, that thing's like they're really like, running along the wall is the whole thing is turning. Like, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I that's definitely one of the best scenes and most rewatchable for sure. Um, I had that one, then I also had the scene when Cobb first introduces Ariadne's to the dream world, and like just how
Yeah.
seeing how she navigates through it,
Yeah.
and just how she like learns so fast and catches on. I think that's just really cool to see and really, I don't know, innovative.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That I could watch that scene, and yeah, the hallway scene's an easy for sure
Yeah, for
answer.
sure. I'll go ahead and say the van going backwards
Oh, that's cool.
off the bridge.
The British.
The bridge. Because it's it's cool because it shows the passage of time, and they filmed it in such slow motion that like you really watch it fall all the way.
Yeah, that is cool. No, he does such a good job of, again, those learning moments. Like, oh, clearly it's falling, and then that means the anti-gravity in the next
Yeah.
scene, and so like he's showing that he's
Yeah.
being pretty thoughtful, and it's not like it's that. Again, I didn't think it was that confusing.
No.
All right, next category we've got most likely to be the off-screen drunk. Thank you. Somebody had to do it.
Kevin.
Dave, we probably know you won't watch this, but you would be proud. And Kevin, he probably will watch this actually.
You won't be proud.
you won't, or maybe you will.
I don't
Depends
know.
on what time of day it is. I said Cobb.
Daniel's dying right now.
Oh my god.
That's
said-
from the wow.
Yeah, I'm sure it
Yeah,
is. That's
don't
what you
fucking
get.
do that anymore.
That's what
To
you
get
get.
that wow, you gotta vibrate a lot back here.
Yeah.
So for me, I said Cobb was the off-screen drunk because he just had to do something to cope with the past. Clearly, he was the most in his head and depressed and all sorts of crazy mind stuff. So I thought he is probably the easy answer. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I said Cobb, but it's Kevin.
Beautiful.
Tom
Daniel?
Hardy's dude looks like he likes a drink.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I guess the first time we see him, he's drinking.
Yeah, he seems like a fun dude,
Yeah,
a
that's
party
true.
guy, if you will.
Yeah, that's a good point. And even I think their original intention was to meet back up for a drink. So
Yeah.
I think he was playing with the booze, that's for sure. Shaking hands with Mr. Daniels. All right, next category. We've got casting our friends. Daniel?
This movie was too like serious.
I know.
Like
This category
like,
is normally better when it's funny.
Yeah.
well, and it doesn't have to be funny. It just has to have like broader characters, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you don't really get to know these characters except for Cobb.
Yeah.
Sure.
Very much. Like
yeah, that's fair.
Like they don't show off their personalities a whole lot. It's very much like exposition dump.
Yeah.
A little bit of character action.
Very few.
Like,
Yeah,
so
right.
it's hard for me to pick anyone because I didn't know these characters. I never got to know these characters.
Which is
Mhm.
weird because most Nolan movies that's not the case. Like in The Prestige,
Yeah.
Right.
how good of a character development are all of those characters? Like he does such a good job normally, but you're absolutely right. They're not very relatable. I
I
didn't
think-
even
Yeah.
put that
Yeah.
together.
I really think it's because you have to have so much exposition in this
Mhm.
movie.
Yeah, you do. Or you're
You
not gonna
know,
have any idea.
magicians. It's like, all right, we got magicians. They are doing tricks to try and make money and get famous.
Yep.
Okay,
Now I can play
I
with them.
understand that.
Mhm.
This is like,
That's fair.
all right, so to incept a person, you have to have somebody who creates a whole world,
Yeah,
and
you're
then
right.
we place ourselves in that world, and that, but we can't know too much about the world because then that brain is gonna try and kill us. So we want it to be where it's hard for the brain to find us. Like it
It's
I don't
crazy. No,
hate
you're right.
exposition. I
Yeah.
actually
No.
like exposition because I like learning how the worlds work and
Yeah,
stuff like
it's
that.
great.
But this movie is such an exposition dump that you
Mhm.
kind of lose the characters except for Cobb.
Right.
Cobb's the only
Yeah.
one who gets a backstory, who
Unless you want
has,
right.
you know, besides like, let's do this mission and get some money. That's
Un
everyone else's motivation.
unless you
His
want a
motivation is like,
4-hour
I get to
movie.
go back to the
Yeah.
United States
Right.
because everyone thinks I killed my wife.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
again, if you wanted a 4-hour movie,
Right.
we will tell
Right.
you what Tom Hardy was doing the day before.
Yeah. Like that's why I'm saying I don't think it's
Yeah.
a flaw. I mean, I
No,
think
no.
it's a flaw in the movie, but I don't think it's like makes the movie bad.
Yeah,
It's just that in a movie like this, you have to explain the
you're
universe
right.
so people aren't
Yeah.
like,
No, I think that's a really, really good observation.
Why are they jumping off a bridge
So
in a
did you
van
have anybody
backwards?
then? Yeah,
no, I
exactly.
didn't get anybody.
Okay, Eric?
I
Had a few,
did.
but all right, go for it, Eric.
So I said I agree with Daniel that it was difficult to cast anyone on like personality. So I went with situational.
Nice.
So Daniel, you're Tom Hardy, and Dave is Joseph Gordon-Levitt because you two are always bickering.
Nice. Their play on each other is funny, like
Yeah.
kicking the chair and stuff.
Yeah. So now we move on to Kevin, who is Cobb or Leonardo DiCaprio because Kevin is obsessed. And like sometimes he can get obsessed and skews the line between objective reality and subjective opinion. And
That's a
like
really good point.
those kind of like do that, and
Yeah,
that's Kevin.
that's fair.
I
I wish
said
Kevin was here. No.
yeah. I said John is the architect because he's got unlimited imagination and I want to see the world that he designs.
Nice.
It's just a big old disc golf course. I said Matt's
It's just Augusta with this
Yeah. Right.
kids.
I said Matt, you're the chemist because he's meticulous or meticulous.
No.
You're all about numbers and preciseness and robotic must
Nice.
compute.
I would leave right now, but then it would be two of you.
Yeah, I know. And then
I've never been mad
You're
at
stuck.
you, Eric.
I would apologize, but that's not sincere.
Yeah,
I
you don't
care.
feel it.
No.
It would be insincere.
I love it.
I know you do.
Yeah.
And I
So-
love you as a person, but I just am very mad at you for meticulous.
See, it's pretty
So
fucking
good.
funny. And then so I'll round out the casting with myself as Saito because I feel like I'd be the one like talking a big game and then just get immediately shot. And then I have to be
That's
drugged all
hilarious.
over the next two dreams.
That's funny.
That is my
Nice.
list.
Nice. That's good. I like it.
Thank you.
I actually had John as the chemist.
Yeah,
Because-
that makes works. That makes sense too.
Because I think he would be the one coming up with drugs to take us to sleep or put us to sleep.
Here, try this one with a little bit of this.
Yes, exactly.
And special drugs that don't affect your inner ear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be John for sure helping us out. I said Kevin was Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, a good wingman that is willing to do the dirty work.
Kevin does love work.
He does.
It's his
Even better
favorite.
when it's dirty.
because they reference it in the movie where they're like, "Oh, he's really good," but you don't really see what he does, but he's really good
Yeah.
at, you know,
It's
like he's just
almost
the
it's almost
wingman.
like, these characters are made up in someone's mind and they don't
Yeah,
really have a backstory.
right, exactly. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a fair argument. I had Daniel as our actor Tom Hardy, probably the most likely to act like someone else in a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would definitely do that prank where he's a sexy lady and
Yes,
he walks
exactly.
up to, was it Saito,
Yeah.
and is like flirting with him,
Yep.
and then
That
he
would be
turns
you.
back into Tom Hardy. I would definitely do that.
Yep, 100%. I
Yeah,
felt like that was you.
that is well within my wheelhouse.
I had two more. I had Eric as probably Michael Caine, which is even a
Michael
step
Caine.
removed from Saito, because I said that you'd be like, nah, I'll pass on this one. I don't want anything that you do with you
Yeah.
idiots.
I get sleep fine. I'll just dream whenever my body wants to. That's fine.
Right, exactly. And then my last casting was I had Cody as Ken Watanabe or Saito because I thought he would be the one that would want to corrupt someone's mind to take down a big corporation.
Yeah. To stop the
On-
competition.
Only he would think of something like that, I think. So
Yeah.
that would be as maniacal as it gets, or diabolical as it gets.
Yeah. That's
All
pretty
right,
good. I like
thanks.
that.
Yeah. So again, kind of the same. You're right, Daniel. The character development is very little because of all of that exposition, and
Yeah,
I wish that I would take that same length, take out 10 to 15 minutes of that suspense at the end, and I
Mhm.
would throw back in so I could care about these characters a little more. Because
Yeah.
I'm a big character person, and that is something that feels like it's missing, and I didn't even realize it until now that we're talking about it. Maybe
Mhm.
that's what I was lacking.
Yeah,
All
I mean
right.
yeah,
they
and the thing is, like, this would make a great TV
It
show.
really, really would. This is
Yeah.
the kind of thing that when you really see it on screen, you're like, man, this is long, but there's so much more you could do with it.
Yeah, and if they expanded it, they could do the exposition as
Yeah,
well as help flesh out these characters a little bit more.
exactly. And
Mhm.
then you'd have some sort of stake in the game. Because at the end, when
Yeah,
they're in the snow level and you're like, oh, they're not going to do it. Really, this is all about Cobb getting to his kids. This is the
Yeah.
entire movie's about. And that's fine, but there's so many characters that have roles in this, and you're like,
yeah,
I don't care about anybody
yeah,
else.
Yeah.
Nothing else
yeah.
matters.
It's the difference between like Ocean's 11, because this is sort of a heist movie too.
It
It
is.
is.
It
Yeah.
Like,
definitely
but
is.
Ocean's 11, like every character is like, this is my character. This is
And I love that.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
and it's like, so when they do the heist, you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
he's about to get caught.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that dude. Where
Yep.
now, Sato gets shot. I'm like, okay.
Right. Yeah. And again, the only thing is that you want Cobb to get back to his family. So
Right.
you're like,
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't die so we can honor that, blah, blah, blah. But other than
Yeah.
that, there's not much to it. So yeah, I don't. And I think that might be what sets this apart from not being a podium movie for Nolan for me. Watching
Mhm.
some of the, now that we're watching a bunch of his movies, I can kind of compare, and this does not compare to The Prestige. This does not compare to The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, I have all these complaints, but this is still
Oh, it's a
so
great
much
movie.
better than
Ready.
95% of the shit that's
It's
out
gonna be
there.
the running joke, but you're right. No, absolutely. Next, we tell if this is a podium role for any of the top billed cast members. So first we've got, and I only went with 4 people. There's a lot of big names, but I thought there were only really 4 that we kind of follow. One
Mhm.
obviously is Leo. I
Yeah.
said no. What
No, I
about you
said
guys?
no.
No.
Yeah.
He's
For
in too
me,
much.
yeah,
Yeah.
A, he's in too much. For me personally, no.
Yeah.
And from a more of a
Objective
Oscar,
standpoint.
yeah,
Yeah.
even then I'd say no.
Yeah. I agree.
It's not a bad role for him. He's
No.
obviously the main character, but
He did a good job. It's
Yeah.
just
Now, all right.
there are so many other things that he's like way better in.
Yeah, I agree. Let me ask you
Yeah.
this. Is his acting when she jumps off the ledge, is that overacting to you?
No, I think that's great.
You do?
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. I am
Because
on the
that's
fence.
such a messed up
Oh, yeah, I'm
like
sure in
thing to
your
Situation.
watch.
head. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I'm personally watching her do that. I remember when I first watched it, I think we did the A-B repeat on it because we thought it was funny because we thought it was overacting.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, but
watch
I
it
mean,
now
we
and I'm like,
also have
I don't know if it's that bad.
bad takes in high school. Like,
Oh yeah,
um, we
I'm
would
not
laugh at
sure.
kids, and that
Oh
movie
yeah,
is not funny.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
movie is
fair.
a bummer.
I know. Well, that's kind of what I was getting to. I watch it
Oh, okay,
now.
sorry.
No, I watch it now, and I don't think it's that funny. I think it's a pretty good job. It's not Oscar worthy, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think it's like the best, acting I've ever seen. But like having your heart
Yeah,
tear apart
Yeah.
and you have no way to stop it is kind of like
sure. Yeah, it's hard to. How do you put that on screen, right?
also I don't think this is Leo's best movie uh
It's not
this year.
Shutter Island came out this year as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, which is Scorsese. And I probably would say it's a better movie, but I haven't seen it in a while, so maybe that's another rewatchable there.
Yeah.
Also Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I said
I
yes.
You said yes,
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yes.
I said no. I really miss this guy. I was a huge JGL fan when we were younger. I thought he
Yeah.
was in a bunch of good stuff. I said no because I said 500 Days of Summer is on that for
Yeah.
me. 50-50 with my girl Anna Kendrick's awesome. Such an
Yeah.
underrated movie. And then I might be crazy, but I really, really like him in The Dark Knight Rises as Blake.
I think he does a good job in Dark
Yeah.
Knight Rises,
Yeah.
but like I'm just not as interested in his character.
Oh
Like,
man, I am. And this I'm not at all in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to The Dark Knight, I really like how they develop and you find out who he is or who he might be and how that
right.
all kind of uncovers. So personally, I like
I
it.
think I had an issue with the what's your first name? Robin. Oh, that's nice. You should use that. It's kind of like
I know it's
a cop out of
cheesy.
like
It is.
there'll never be a Robin in this realistic Batman universe. Then
I
it's like,
know.
oh, see, we gave you Robin.
It's just, but and I know it's not even his real name in the comics.
Right.
I
Well,
know.
it's just I would love to see Robin actually done correctly. Like I would
Sure.
love to see a Nolan Robin. Like Robin has not been on the big screen except for Burt Ward's Robin
Yeah.
and
And Chris
then
O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell's
Yeah.
Robin. And Chris O'Donnell's Robin had nipples on his suit. So it's kind of hard to root for that guy.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't know. I thought he was a compelling character in that movie. Also, another movie that he was in I thought was more interesting was Don John. But anyways, we got Elliot Page, formerly Ellen Page, another big name at the time. I said yes
Such a
for this.
huge name.
I know.
Yeah.
I said
I would say
yes.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say yes.
So I said this, Juno, obviously that is
Yeah.
the role. And also Days of Future Past as Kitty Pryde. Thought Paige was great in that.
Yeah, she was great as Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
I'm not like the X-Men movies are like up and down for me. So
Uh-huh.
See,
that's
I
one of
love
the
them.
ones that I'm not as
Oh, really?
into.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that one. Oh, I
That's the
really
time
like how
travel one, right?
it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
As I've explained, I'm not a big time travel guy.
And honestly, I don't even think that's what gets it for me. It's the characters that are in it that gets it for me. all of the like lesser X-Men are in that we don't get to see normally, and so I just like how they tie everybody into that. And then I thought the other person that was kind of a main character was probably Ken Watanabe's character, Saito, because he's in it a lot. And if
Yeah.
you go on IMDb, he
Yeah.
is the fourth top bill.
Yeah.
So I said him as well, and I said yes.
I said yes.
I'm just not familiar enough with his work. So
Same.
Yeah. Real again, another big name. He's in a lot of, or he was in a lot of Nolan movies as well. He's in isn't he in one of the Batmans? Isn't he in
yeah, he's in
Batman Begins?
Yeah.
Because you think he's Ra's al Ghul at
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
I said that. I said this, and then if you've ever seen The Last Samurai, he is amazing in that movie with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He's absolutely amazing.
It's been
in that.
so long since I've seen that one.
Yeah, him and Tom Cruise have a great connection in that movie. All right, so last category. Does this movie podium for you in the year 2010?
Remember
Also,
when Dave was like, "Oh, I didn't know we were going to do the top 3 of the year."
We only do it every time.
Like we never do it, but we
right. We only do it every single time. And also, thanks, Julie. I'm glad she agrees with me. Go JGL.
I'll go first.
All right,
Sure.
go ahead.
For my number 3, yes, it podiums.
Nice.
For my number 3, I have Easy A.
Nice.
I thought that was just a really well done, like, teen coming of age movie.
Yep.
Emma Stone is great in it, so I was just like, yeah, that's
nice.
You know,
good
it was either that or Deathly Hallows Part 1.
I know.
And I just have issues with the Harry Potter series as it moves on. Like, the further it gets,
same.
The further you're like, oh, there was shit that should have been in this movie and this movie and this movie to make this movie make sense. Like, I read the books, so I knew what the fuck was going on. But, like, even I could see, like, oh, we're just making leaps here.
Yeah.
And then number 2 is this Inception.
Oh, on the fly.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it goes back and forth. Like,
it does.
And this time, I just didn't like it as much as I liked it last time I saw it. And it's entirely possible that I watch it again and I'm like, this is stupid. This is number 1 with a bullet.
Yeah.
But so number 2 is Inception. And then number 1 is the Trent Reznor soundtrack, The Social Network.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Eric?
I completely forgot that Trent Reznor did the soundtrack for The Social Network.
Yeah.
I need to go back and rewatch that one. It did not make my list, but
before you give your list, we should do a David Fincher month. I know we did 7 already, but he also obviously did Fight Club. He did Social Network. He did a bunch of good movies that we could watch. So that would be a fun month to do that kind of comes back to some of these. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shouldn't do Fight Club.
Why is that?
Because I will get a lot of hate from the Fight Club.
Oh, he doesn't like Fight Club.
It's not that I don't like it. It's that in high school I liked it so much.
Yeah.
And it became such a personality thing where it's like, I like fucking Fight Club. You don't know anything. I watch Fight Club.
When was the last time you watched it, though?
It's been a long time.
So maybe,
but that's what I'm saying. Is like in high school, it became part of my personality.
All of us.
It was, it's like, so I'm almost embarrassed to be like, I'll watch Fight Club. I'm like embarrassed because I'm like, because I'm gonna be an edgelord and be like, I'm a fucking intellectual. I watch Fight Club.
Oh, we did just watch Inception, but it still might be. I'd like to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to watch it. I'm just saying that, like, my brain is predisposed to going like,
I get you.
Cringing
I know
every time Fight Club like comes up. I'm like, oh. I
I
was a real
know.
douche about that movie.
We all were. It's all right.
Yeah.
All right, Eric.
You
Sorry.
just
Go
don't
ahead.
get us.
Right, exactly.
Whatever.
Okay, so yes, this does make my podium.
Nice.
I said, let's see. I said Scott Pilgrim is number 3.
Nice.
Oh, number 3. I thought that would have been higher for you.
Yeah, I don't. This might not be in order, honestly. But Inception number 2, and then Harry Potter number 1.
Oh, nice.
I have not read the books, and Julie turned me on to Harry Potter, and I really enjoyed it. So
Yeah. I'm
So
not saying it's a bad movie or anything.
I know.
I'm just saying, like,
It
as a
almost made
reader
his
of the
podium.
books,
Yeah.
like I just saw it coming, like, and it's like there are chunks of the movie that you're just like, that would work better if you had the context from this book. That
Yeah.
would work better if you had the context
Sure.
from this book.
yeah,
Yeah, of course. Nice.
And like
So-
that's an unadaptable, like those books at the end get so dense.
yeah,
That's why I'm excited for the TV show, because
Yeah,
I think
they'll be
the
able to
TV
do
show will
more
be
with
able
it.
to stretch things out and
Yeah.
have the stuff that needs to be in there.
Right.
I'll
Makes
say
sense.
the Social Network is a 4 on my list, so
Nice.
I need to watch it again.
Yeah.
So you and I are basically have the same top 4 movies. No,
Yeah.
3 of the top 4 movies.
yeah,
Well, I'm gonna be somewhat similar too. This is actually a very
just
hard
falling in
year.
line, just
I-
copying all of us.
I know
Mhm.
it's not like it's a top. It is a top heavy.
Yeah.
That's why I think they're all kind of similar. Some of the ones that we didn't name that I would outside looking ins would be The Town was awesome.
Yeah,
Black Swan I really enjoyed. Kick Ass, which was on our list.
Mhm.
Easy A and The Fighter were all up there. All good movies. There were a ton of them at the top, but as I was kind of looking at the list, I'm like, damn, there's not a lot in the middle. However, I did find one that you guys are gonna laugh at. And Eric, you might really like this movie. I can't remember who's on this team with me.
okay.
But number 3 is The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia.
Oh, dear God,
Do you remember that movie?
I remember that movie.
That movie is
I don't think it-
so damn funny.
I don't think it was me that you're thinking of.
Probably not. It's probably me
I don't
and
have a
Brad.
bottle with pills in it to shake, but that's a Boone County mating call.
That is exactly what a Boone County mating call is. Yeah, and it's produced by the Jackass guys. Obviously, one of the greatest scenes in cinema history is them driving around to Freebird in the front yard of the trailer that they had.
Julie says,
I
"Oh,
know
Lordy."
Julie has to know with the Wild and Wonderful Whites, but it's
Yes.
obviously a backstory is the Jesco White, and Jackass went and found the White family from there and made a movie, and it's so damn funny. My number 2 is the same as Daniel's in Inception.
And mine. You're
and
copying me
Eric's,
too.
And number 1 is The Social Network, because
Nice.
and again, I'm kind of with you. Maybe if I would have watched The Social Network, maybe Inception was number 1, but I just remember really liking both of these movies. And after watching Inception again, I'm thinking I probably like The Social Network a little more. But
Yeah.
again, to
Mhm.
be determined. Maybe that's
Remember when we saw Jesse Eisenberg?
yes, in New Orleans.
Yeah, at a bagel shop.
Yeah. Yep. And wasn't he filming Batman or Superman, right? Or Justice League?
No, that
whatever
would
it
have been too early for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he
Speaking, another
he
person that was huge.
Lex
back
Luthor?
then. Yeah, he was Lex Luthor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't a very good Lex Luthor.
Shocking.
Yeah.
He seems like he'd be a Lex Luthor. You know, like what a weird cast.
I'm actually surprised that you didn't say Jackass 3D.
I thought about it, but it's not nearly as good as the other ones.
hmm
I do remember seeing that in Athens. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys.
We did it.
We survived
We did.
another live episode. Somehow we got on. I'm not sure what was going on there for the first 2 minutes. I think it was I'll blame Riverside or something. I don't know.
Whatever the blame is, it's not on Matt.
No, it's definitely not. I had the same key. Everything's
Yeah.
same thing every time. It's not like I'd do anything different. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in to our show. Please like and subscribe on our channel if you haven't. But if you were watching this at this point, you probably have done both. You can also follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms for clips, updates, and opportunities on a movie to watch that we watch, and hopefully you watch with us.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we're doing next. Do you?
I don't know. We haven't discussed it, have we?
I
Yeah,
know.
we haven't discussed it.
I know. So
Are we doing 2011 or are we
we
doing
shall
something different?
see. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out shortly after the show and let everybody know.
Maybe we're just gonna head on into Batman.
Could just do it
Batman.
while Noah did our turn. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Thank you,
Sickle.
everyone.
Yeah, thanks. Sweet. Yeah, I didn't do anything different. That's what's weird.